Oh shit, we got some technical difficulties going on. Hey, what's up, y'all? Let me play the intro. I'm tripping. I was getting my paper bag, man. Let me put the intro on, man. Y'all.
I like. Filmed in front of a live digital audience, The Lunch Break is a bi-weekly bento box of Black empowerment. As always seasoned, never salty. Boy, the dude with the voiceover, bro.
Man, who is that?
Professional.
Yeah. The man with no face. He did it. He did it on that intro.
But
So
sure, I
welcome
have
to
a
the
voice.
welcome to the Lunch Break. I'm your host, Jay, and I'm joined by,
Hey, Keys.
And Black Ice, Black Narrative.
as always, we have a very fun and exciting show. And before we started the show, I was chastised about the music. So I'm gonna make sure the music is at the right levels. Look at them over there giggling. All right, let's get this show on the road. What's the first topic? Let's. Actually, I don't have a paper bag right now, guys. It's a busy day today. She's chilling, man. But the first topic of the day is there's trouble in Jackson, Mississippi. If you haven't heard, Jackson, Mississippi is currently suffering from a devastating water crisis, and I'm gonna roll a little bit of tape for you so you can see what's going on in
situation right now in Jackson, Mississippi is worsening as residents there enter a fourth day without clean water.
I mean, lines we're going to show you can be seen forming around the block at the water distribution centers throughout the area. Many residents say this is a problem that has been grossly ignored. And it's not a new problem. This aging water system has been around for a while, and this isn't even the first water crisis to plague the city.
Now, this is a terrible situation, but the reason why we're bringing this up because it connects to a point Black Ice made on our last broadcast, whereas if we get reparations, but we're still under the dominant society systems, they could still sabotage us. So, Black Ice, what's your thoughts on what's going on in Jackson, Mississippi?
It's sad what's going on, but it's something we've been trying to warn people for the past year or so.
Yeah.
Like, we kept saying that things will get worse, and we all know the government don't care about us. We all aware of that. We all aware of how the police treats us. We all aware of that. But yet, we are still dependent on them. And when something goes wrong, we're going to them first instead of trying to handle things ourselves. So It's like, so we still have a foundational problem with our mindset. We still want to run to the enemy when something goes bad, and when something like easily, if people were prepping up to this point,
Right.
I mean, it'll still be bad, but it won't be as bad. You know what I'm saying?
No,
That's the point. Had no water at all.
Now, here's the thing: if we got reparations, we would have more funds to prep. Would you agree or disagree with that?
If they decide to use the reparations for prepping,
Right. But how many people will use reparations?
like I mean, this is.
How many
we
people have
assume,
reparations? How many Black Americans have reparations?
None. But
Exactly.
but what you doing with the money you have now? You don't need reparations to buy water. You don't need reparations to prep. Some things could be done now.
Black Ice, not everybody's in the Six Figures Man Club, okay?
Yo, you had to be 6 figures to have a pack of water from Walmart, bro.
Well, I'll say this, because a lot of our people like to use the money that we do get on clubbing, going out to buy different liquors, and just excessive spending. See some dudes with a nice shoe collection, and that's not something cheap. So we have to learn how to allocate our funds a lot better, because we're in a system where we cannot trust that their infrastructure or their different resources are going to sustain us in the future, because this is very dire.
Yeah.
And I think it goes to an American mind state where food, water, everything comes from a grocery store. And so when we have that mind state, that's why, like, if the power grid goes down or a natural disaster, or like a major attack,
Right.
You know, a lot of Americans are gonna die because a lot of us do not know how to live off the land. We don't know how to be self-sufficient without the infrastructure and the supply chain there. You know, we're basically sitting ducks, or you know, we're just as in these situations, like you see, they play with the water. They need $1.1 billion to fix that water supply, but the town's like 80% black, so they're not gonna get that investment like they haven't gotten.
And I have a little bit more insight because like a lot of my family from Mississippi. I was born in Mississippi. I lived in Jackson myself for many years, so I seen firsthand how it was or how it is now. You know. And then you have a mayor down there who want to be Drake. Like literally, you look up the mayor of Jackson, and you see him partying with Jake and want to act and all these other things. So you have a black face. One of those things, you have these symbolic positions, and not really doing anything for black people. You know what I mean? And then, but I've been hopping on Twitter, and you know, I saw a lot of people in Jackson complaining about, you know, they ran out of water because like, they hand out water, but they only have but so much water to hand out. Right. So the one person like, well, why not you just collecting the water from your house? Because part of the reason what happened in Jackson, because they got so many inches of rainfall back to back, which crashed the system that was already broken anyway. So it's not like it's a drought with no water being provided. But then I think like, yo, it's raining outside. How about you get this rainwater? Right. And I say it ain't not gonna completely fix the problem. Of course not. It's not gonna do that. But at least it alleviates some of it. You know, it makes it a little bit easier.
It's about surviving.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to survive with some mac and cheese right now. The next topic we have, real quick, Black Ice, how many generations back does your family go in Mississippi?
I can, top of my head, at least 5 generations.
I got to see your paperwork. Are you on the 1860 census?
Paperwork. They go the intro.
Okay. So, in other news, the Nigerian government recently banned all foreign models and voiceover actors in Nigerian advertising media. They released this on Twitter. All right, so they Twitter banged everybody. And so the government state that they're doing this to protect the local industries and the talent from foreign labor, which is a very reasonable thing to do. And I'm just shocked that Nigeria is getting rid of its own tethers. Are we seeing the catalyst of the foundational Black Nigeria movement? Is this it, fellas?
When I tell you, when I found out this news, I thought, first off, well, I'm not sure as far as the political scheme in Nigeria, as far as their relationship to other blacks coming in. But I am glad that they're not going to be allowing any white faces, Asian faces to be representing them. So I do believe that that is a good kind of step and example for all of us to look towards, to be represented and see our own faces. And it's a kind of a protective measure, because now their kids, when they're growing up, they're able to see a Nigerian face, a black face as an example, instead of, white or Asian or what have you.
You know what? But there's something you would think you would say something like that first over here by us, but we not. Unfortunately, we still had too many of our people who wanted to see themselves as gay first before they see themselves as black first. You know what I mean? Right. Or I've seen a lot of black businesses they ready to cater to the black audience than their own people. So right. But I think we can learn something from this. I think it's a great idea what Nigeria is doing.
Yeah, Keith. Black Ice doesn't have a Black American hairline. That's for sure. But Black Ice, see, you don't see that here for one, because of there is a codependency in the black community. But two, we don't control the industries. Not to get too far down to that point, but we're not really putting people on. Even the black people that kind of put people on, they at the behind the scene, there's a white dude they asking, so it's like we don't really have the means to really enforce this like Nigeria does. Now, do we have the ability to not buy a Vanilla Ice's album? Yeah, right. But then you got like 60% of the rest of the country that will buy it. So it's harder for us to enforce something like this.
But you would have to force. I mean, when I'm speaking about it, of course you can't do it on a national level because we don't own this place, right?
Right.
But I was thinking about even in our own communities. Like say, I work with a lot of black small businesses.
Yeah.
And I came across a lot of black small business owners that would purposely ignore having black models for white ones because they rather have white money.
Yeah.
So of course you can't do it on Nigeria's level, but you have to start small. We had to start thinking like that in our own individual community before we be on a mass scale.
And basically policing. Policing our representation and who we're able to let in and let be our faces, which definitely takes a certain kind of integrity. And also who we support as well.
Yeah.
What you say, Akis? You the faces we see? Is that what you said?
I'm not one of the faces you see. I'm not on that list.
We need to see your face. We need to do a paperwork check on Akis.
Oh man, he's gonna take out the smog and look like Sexy Dash.
You know what I
mean? He a half white, half Chinese dude from Jamaica. I'm Caribbean.
Don't throw me under the bus like that.
Well, technically, you're Caribbean.
Yeah, but I met a lot of black business owners over the years, and and I even came across them talking about they were to hide. They don't even want to promote themselves as a black business. They see that as being a negative.
Yeah, I've been I ran a telecom consultancy, and I had white people in the brochures. I made sure I had black people too. I would balance it out, but I understand. But it goes back to when we talked about, I believe 2 episodes ago. We got to just stop looking for external validation. If we look together, if we just put our resources together and work insular, then it doesn't really matter. We can show the images we want to show of one another. Anyone got a part in thought?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. As far as we need to stop looking for external validation, but that's a deep thing in itself.
Yeah, but process Nigeria. I mean, I think, like I said before, I think that's something we can learn from.
It's an exciting example to see.
Hey, Akis, G Mummy says she wants you to give her a scarf. I don't know what she's talking about. I think that's an internal joke. But let's have a cup of coffee.
I'm gonna send a scarf to Long Beach, brother. You can have
a
6-0 scarf.
No, y'all just need to leave me alone. Like Michael Jackson. Just leave me alone. So, man. Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes, it's hard to even have the words for these guys. Well, Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes, they decided it was time to do a takeover on Black Americans by trying to claim that hip hop was their own, and so it caused a whole storm online. Many influential individuals like Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, Lord Jamar, Juan Brown, Marcel Dixon, everybody under the sun, they struck back with Ether. And those 2 culture vultures and everybody around them, they were left with no argument. They just kept saying, Charlie Chase, Charlie Chase, Charlie Chase, Charlie. Like, okay, all right. Charlie Chase even said Puerto Ricans wasn't rocking with hip hop in the beginning. But it brings to a larger point that Black Ice wanted to touch on. And I don't agree with this fool with his shiny head. But, and let me get some of that lotion you got on your head. That joint works. And you guys think I got a ring light? It's really his head bouncing off my monitor. It's lighting on my face. But
he's in a completely dark room.
Well, Black Ice was saying, are we spending too much time arguing about who made it if we don't own it?
Yes.
Black Ice.
Yes. Yo. I've been seeing these Twitter arguments about this for like almost a month now. Like it is way too much. My thing is, like, who cares what they think? You know what I'm saying? For one, and two, it's so many, and people act like hip hop is not documented. It's so many great documentaries and books about the history of hip hop. So who cares? Busta and Fat Joe saying what they're saying. We know it. We all know it's not true, and it's well documented. So people on the internet every day.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We let this kind of stuff go unchecked for so long That now when you say black people made techno, people like what? Black people made house. What? Black people made rock. What? So
my thing is, if you got the energy to check these people, check the people who own hip hop.
But can't you check both?
Are they checking both?
Well, here's the thing.
No.
These people are not acting out of their own volition. You know, the dominant society sent them out there to go start trying to gentrify and take our creations. So
but
giving them that smoke.
But people that own it already took it.
Yeah, but now they want to write us out of it socially as well. Okay, and
how they write it? They gonna write it out on Twitter, bro? It's Twitter talk.
No, if you let them start saying that Latinos and Jamaicans made hip hop, and we start going along with that narrative, then it's gonna be in the books. Then it's
okay, I'll put it like this, bro.
And there's not gonna be any counter argument to it, and then they're gonna end up writing us out of it like they did with techno and house and all that. You got white DJs and house and techno and all that, and there's like no trace of blackness in it, and we can't let that persist.
See, here's my thing. They writing us out of Black history now in public schools, but black people still send their kids to public school.
Yeah, but your kids are on Twitter. So you gotta. There's things that we can control and vehicles we can push on. No,
you can control all of it though, Jay.
No, you at one of them.
Turn your mic. Recharge. Get new battery for your mic, bro. You muted.
No, we still can't hear you.
We can't hear you, bro. I think that's like a divine, intervention right there.
Well, I tell you, the smoke is real tonight.
Test it 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You talking test now. Oh, you can hear it now.
I got so worked up on him caping for Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes.
I'm not caping for him.
Yes, you are.
I just say they're liars. I already acknowledge that they're liars. But I'm not gonna spend my time dealing with liars. People lie on the internet every day, bro. If you deal with liars on the internet every day, I ain't got time to do anything else.
Yeah, but someone as big as Fat Joe, and Busta
Big as
Rhymes,
Fat Joe?
They need some. Yeah, the nigga's big.
Big to who though? Big to who?
I don't know. He weighs like 200, 300 pounds.
No, big to black people.
No, Fat Joe. It has he's influential. To say that Fat Joe is not influential.
To who?
It doesn't matter to who.
Yeah, it does matter.
He's influential in the United States of America, and if he puts that Latinos made hip hop,
who's gonna believe that?
Latinos and some codependent Negroes.
Did we just say that you don't need external validation?
Yeah,
we just said that on the last topic.
But we're not asking for.
Do?
But there's a difference between correcting the narrative and asking for validation. We are not asking Latinos to validate that we made hip hop. We're saying, no, we made it. You might have been spinning around on a cardboard somewhere 10 years after we made it. But no, you didn't make it. You might have contributed to it. You might have made a handstand, but Pygmy Markham was rapping, and Kool Moe Dee and them said that they was copying it. If you're Pygmy,
you're acting like Fat Joe and Dan Calloway talking about the slave trade, bro. We had TV, radio, and everything during this time. It's well documented that who made hip hop. So why are we already debating it when it's already been well documented? Evidence is already out there.
It's like saying there's a bunch of articles online. People don't read all the articles; they read tweets. If you could come back, if he's going to say it in a short form format, and all the documentation that refutes it is in a long form format, we need to correct the narrative.
But who's gonna believe Fat Joe? Who's gonna believe Fat Joe? Black people or Latinos?
Both.
And if black people believe Fat Joe, then they deserve to be over there.
This is what I was saying. The way I view the whole conversation as far as who created hip hop, which of course we know we're Black Americans, it's one of those things where sometimes people will drop bait and will run to it. Everybody will run to it, and now it's a whole debate, and now it's taken away from certain things. The most powerful thing I think that we could do in a situation like that, if somebody says, "Oh, Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans made hip hop," you could just respond with one word: "No," and it could be as simple as that. you know, sometimes I feel like we give too much of a stage, and
now you acting like Jehovah's Witnesses trying to convert everybody.
Because people
let them believe what they believe.
Because people are going to be full of it either way. And
yeah, but there's people that don't know, and so when you
tell
put
them to
your
read a book
out there, that you're not being realistic.
I am being realistic. And so how do you talk about you want reparations, how you want to be empowered, and you can't even read a damn book?
Well,
I'm not. Go ahead, Keith.
I'll say this to that point. As far as there's people that don't know. Trust me, the people that don't know, if they're going to Twitter to try to get information, I don't think they're going to learn much.
Here's the thing: it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to refute it. We could walk and chew bubblegum. Now, if people just want to argue, yes. If people want to argue and just debate all day and they don't want to make any structural changes, then that's one thing. But I wouldn't want to paint the whole community with that broad brush. I think that the heat that these people were getting was rightful heat, and they needed to get this pressure. If you go on Fat Joe's Twitter and Busta Rhymes Twitter, every time they're posting, there's people that are saying hip hop was made by Black Americans. And that's good, because now anyone that goes, they're going to see that. They're going to see Pigmeat Markham. You might not agree, but at the end of the day, a 30-second tweet doesn't hurt anything. It only hurts if that's all you want to do. If you don't want to come back and be insular and work with other Black people after that, or uncold Black people, then it's a problem. But if you're out
I have no problem refuting it. I have no problem when you talking about it for a whole month and then some about back and forth with these people.
That's a different argument. That's a different argument.
But that's the same argument. That's what our whole argument was about. I never said don't refute it. I said don't refute it for over a month. I said we've been talking about it for too long. Like why do you just talking to these idiots for over a month? Like why are you trying to convince them otherwise?
Because they keep out there talking. It's funny that we're talking about hip hop and you look like an OJ to Kiss.
I say it's a compliment because he's one of the realest. So,
he is, Mr. Rat. I can't do it. Yeah, I didn't know you was from Mississippi. I didn't know your family was from Mississippi. My family. Mississippi.
Yeah, I was born in Mississippi. I'm born in Delta, man.
My family from Macomb.
Okay, yeah, I know where that at. The home of Brandy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Brandy from Macomb. A lot of people know that.
Yeah.
I want to say Oprah too. I think Oprah was born in Macomb.
Yeah. There's somewhere that started with an M.
Yeah. She's from Chicago, but yeah.
Yeah, Brandy's from Macomb. Snoop Dogg's uncle actually drove my grandpa, my family out here to Long Beach. So, so we was all making that migration. But I don't like to say that because everybody likes to act like they know Snoop Dogg in Long Beach. So
yeah, that's my cousin, bro.
like have a seat or have a bowl of green. And so we're bringing back the Kingdom of Babylon. There's nothing like the Kingdom of Babylon. We see it all day and all night on social media. And if you don't know what the Kingdom of Babylon is, well, Babylon is an ancient society, but this is Babylon, and we're gonna see our first tweet. So this is Rakeem Shabazz. I'm thinking he's Muslim, has a nice beard, or he might be down with y'all too. FBA is now.
No, don't do that.
Rakeem Shabazz.
Yeah, Shabazz is very distinct.
Yeah, I forgot. It's not Ayatollah Ramalam Ding Dong. Hey, what up? All right, so he says
Rakeem Shabazz been Israel, then maybe.
He maybe. Rakeem Shabazz. Yeah.
Yeah, we know what he is. He's a jackass.
Like Tariq Nasheed. No,
all right, that's an FBA name. So FBA is now suddenly concerned with hip hop culture and its origins, but they are never on here when we are discussing and shining a light on all the new talent on the indie scene. We've been having these discussions for years. Where were you? This isn't really something you care about. Now the asinity, the inanity. Stupid freaking tweet. Like, just because people didn't come to some little conversation you were having does not mean that is like the barometer or the temperature of the entire population. Black people not talking about your indie rap little thing doesn't mean that Black Americans do not care about hip hop. Your thoughts?
Well, I can start off by saying that somebody didn't listen to his mixtape. I can tell that a lot of people didn't listen to his mixtape, and now he's up in arms, and he's just using this as an opportunity to talk about his mixtape.
Wait, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do want to say that as far as the whole thing of the conversation and the duration of it, now I know there's a lot of people that could chew bubblegum and walk, but as we've seen with the Twitter spaces, there's a lot of people that just want to talk. You know,
nigga,
they want to chew bubblegum.
It's walk and chew bubblegum. Get it right if you're gonna say it.
No, I said chew bubblegum and walk. I can say it backwards, man.
See, you not FBA. That's why you ain't said it like that. You not FBA. If you was FBA, you know how to say it. It's so easy to catch these tethers. I swear. Let's see that airline.
But they can't chew bubblegum. They can't walk. They just want to talk. So as far as the kingdom of Babylon, some of those people are a part of it as well, right along with Rakim Shabazz.
You know, but there's so much talent in any scene. Like, it's a whole different class of rappers are blowing up now. I don't even know who the hell they are, because they're blowing up on the indie scenes on social media. Right. So you can't say, oh, nobody pays attention to indie people. All who taking over the industry now are independent artists now.
Good bit of the music.
Yeah, you don't need a big label anymore. Like, these people are blowing up themselves on their own dances on TikTok. They promoting themselves across different platforms. They going on full tours with no deal. Right. So for him to say that, just let you know he's just really out of touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really just trying to cause static. That's all he's trying to do. He's just trying to mix it up and be problematic. And like you said, the keys, he had a 2-for-1 combo where you get a bean pie and his mixtape for $20. He sold like 3.
So I was like, look, I'll pay for the bean pie, but do I have to take the mixtape?
Yeah, the mixtape's free.
Like, fuck these mother suckers.
Like, you can use the mixtape as a coaster.
Like, these Akatas don't buy, they don't like good rap. These Akatas.
Yeah, very smart. I like what Keith is saying. Very smart move to be independent. Yeah, if they got the ability to hustle and market themselves, definitely. There's no need to put yourself in debt with a major label.
Well, it's the thing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good.
It's the thing is, the internet changed the distribution mechanism. Now back in the days, the distribution was through the major labels. They had the pressing and distribution companies like Alliance that all the record labels worked through. So if you wasn't going through Alliance, then you wasn't gonna get in retail. Nowadays, retail's online. So all you got to do is master the marketing part. Well, you got to make you got to make music people want to hear. I can't say good music, but you got to make music people want to hear. The distribution is done on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify. You just upload your stuff and you do the marketing. So being independent makes all the sense in the world. Even record labels nowadays won't even pick you up if you ain't already popping. So the A&R function is totally different. I think they're just looking to see who popping on Instagram and then they bring you on. But if you ain't got that popping single, yeah, they not trying to develop you. Keith Weston said, "I'm right. I feel like I'm smart now."
Oh my god!
Yeah, I've been validated. I've been validated today.
But it's crazy. It's crazy when you had to make yourself hot to attract the major label. But by the time you're hot, if you're smart as an artist, you don't need them anymore because you're already hot.
Hey, but these niggas is dumb out here. They high. They just. They on Instagram. They got a hot song. I'm on lean, and then they pop up. And then the nigga like his baby mama taking 75% of the deal and shit. Like they don't even. These niggas out here.
Then we've been looking at the contract.
It's almost like they can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time.
Okay, I wish I had my. You got your little sound effect. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all some. And we're gonna conclude the episode with a fun topic. And with this fun topic, I'm going to bring on the one, the only, Mr. Dude. What's up, dude?
What's up,
What's up, everyone? How y'all feeling tonight?
Doing good.
He came back with a New York accent.
What's up, B? How you feeling tonight?
You got this bro for 10 minutes. Came in with a New York accent.
He out doing all smooth. What's up, y'all?
What up, kid?
Come on. We know you play video games. It's all good.
Oh, yes, it's all good. And speaking of video games, Sonic Frontiers is looking to be, well, decent, as people have been talking about it. Yeah, actually looking maybe even, some say, actually good. I mean, that's actually a bit of a bold step for Sonic in the video game realm to say a good game, but it looks, and people are saying this, I think looking right now some articles, it's like one article just said right there off the break saying Sonic Frontiers' new 3-minute explainer video is probably how Sega should have started. I'm like, well, and looking at it, he's not wrong, because
what's the problem with it? What's the problem with Sonic Frontiers if there is one?
Well, it's the open world formula trying to ape off, Breath of the Wild, and it's they're trying to do all these other we're trying to be, they're trying so hard to say this is Sonic, but with a little bit of a Zelda twist. But open world stuff has been played out. There's a lot of stuff that's open world, and I don't think Sonic or Sonic Team, even though the last trailer looked pretty good, I'm like, do you trust Sonic and Sonic Team to actually do something competent? Because
Duke, we have one listener they just dropped. Non-message. Hey, I got a video of it. I'm gonna show Sonic Frontiers real quick. Check it out, guys. Now, I'm an avid Sonic fan. I love Sonic, but his games have been hot trash. And when I seen this game, I'm like, yo, this game is trash. Them enemies look like high school 3D art drawing. Yeah, they look so dumb. I'm like, what's
look basic
robot? Yeah, they look so basic. Man, the open world, like you playing.
You could tell this was easy to animate.
Yeah,
and the animation is bad. Sonic was running around there, but at the end of the day, I'm like, Sonic Frontiers, I think it's gonna be like a 6 or 7, a solid 6 or 7. Sega is a lazy developer, and this to me is proof of how lazy they are. They reuse levels from previous games. They call them cyberspace levels. And then the open world is barren. There's no NPCs. There's no towns. There's no nothing. Sonic just running around is trash to me.
I mean, as somebody that really used to play a good bit of Sonic games, I never thought of Sonic and open world in the same sentence. And then this is kind of proving it, showing just how kind of bleak the world is. It looks depressing, and the characters, whatever he's fighting, it just looks like big old blobs of video game graphics thrown together.
But you know what? But it seemed like from the gameplay I've seen, it looked like it's more of a puzzle game than an action game. And I wonder if that had anything to do with it. I think it's also a victim of a bad rollout. And I know this was like a crazy summer because they didn't have an E3 this summer, so everybody kind of like started doing their own thing, and they probably didn't know how to roll this thing out because I think they rolled out like it was like a world demo first, right? They showed off the land first, and then they showed off another thing second. Yeah, and I think that was just a horrible rollout. They should, like you said, they should start with a whole action trailer from the get go.
Just show the land.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Black Ice. I know this ain't gonna be a shocker to you, but you're wrong. It's not a puzzle game.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that how it looked like when I first saw it because it was barren, and then the game as soon as I saw it, he was solving puzzles. That's before they showed any action or anything. So when I first saw it looked like a Pokemon game.
They didn't want you to see them ugly ass enemies. That's why.
And it's just, it reminds me, it's hilarious because I just finished a couple months back streaming this game. It reminded me of like Phoenix Rising. It's like an old game. No, it was a newish game that's basically based on the Green Mist and all that stuff. And that, it was cartoony and all this stuff. But the one thing I liked about it, the world was open. There was like different type of creatures there. Here, it's just like basic stuff on Blender or whatever type of 3D model, whatever that makes all this other stuff that VX artists do, like their first time doing it, like in a high school, and say, okay, here's your enemies, take them out. Here's simple puzzles, and here's some classic levels. Remember, City Escape? Here it is in 4K. Instead of just going on Sonic, you could get Sonic Generations for like $10.
I just thought about it too. What's the release date for this?
I believe it's.
I was about to say it might be horrible timing because I just saw rumors today that the new Breath of the Wild trailer may be releasing like in a couple of weeks.
Ooh, that's
dude,
good.
And that gonna get everything.
This game comes out the day before God of War Ragnarok.
No.
Oh yes.
So that's bad.
What are they thinking?
We're gonna play this trash. This would be tight. Like this got the level. The graphics are amazing, but it looks like it has the level of detail as GTA 3. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like barren. There's nothing there. There's no NPCs. I'm like, Sega, man. I wish y'all would just sell Sonic to Nintendo.
Well, at least they actually have consistently good games. But I mean, meanwhile, like y'all said, the new Zelda might become, the trailers and such, which supposedly might be happening next week.
Yeah, that's I heard.
Correct. And then you got like other stuff coming out. You got God of War. You got the Gotham Knights coming out in October. And then supposedly, rumor has it, the AEW video game Fight Forever might be coming out like late December. So I'm like, at this point, in fact, AEW Fight Forever has more of a positive buzz for it because I think with the Gamescom won like the best fighting game right there. Like, it's like the best fighting game. Did
you just call a wrestling game a fighting game?
That's what it was. It was in the genre of fighting game. Yeah, that's what it was in the it won the Gamescom thing though. That's what it was. And it has a lot of positive momentum on it. Sonic Frontiers is just like, okay, crap, we got a terrible first impression. And now it's just like we gotta just make sure. See, we there's some good stuff here. But I think it's way too little, way too late. You can't make a second first impression. And I think it's just going to be a 7, and then maybe like a year or maybe 2 years down the line, people are going to be like, oh, it was fine, but it just never really did anything, which is funny because right now Sonic is hot right now. They got like the movie is doing well. And there's going to be a Paramount Plus series thing on Knuckles. They're going to have like stuff on Netflix. They're going to have all this stuff, and yet the one thing they just can't do is video games, which is kind of funny.
Where it came from.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it looked half baked, and it looked like they probably started on it, and then the pandemic happened, and then they just never went back to work on it.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
it was just like
they've been working on it for 5 years, so
wow.
It just shows it shows how terrible of a developer Sega is. And my part of thoughts on this fiasco, this disappointment, I haven't played it yet, but it looks sorry to me, is that Sega has put itself in a horrible box where it didn't define really what Sonic was in 3D and stick to it. And so now they made so many different type of 3D Sonic games that everybody they have a fragmented fan base, and some people like the Boo Sonic, some people like Adventure Sonic. They have all these little fandoms. So anytime they come out with a new game, everybody but that little niche they're catering to is upset. So they put themselves in this box. They need to really sit down and take Sonic seriously and give him like a real next generation outing or a reimagining. And I don't think Frontiers is it. It has a barren third world, open world. It looks whack.
It literally looks like the Frontiers.
It looked like Death Stranding, but
But put a little Zelda paint on it, and
it got some little ambient music. It's like this ain't even Sonic.
Sonic's music is upbeat, fast, exciting. That's the best part of the game. Yeah. And I sit here and I'm like, looking at the IP Sega has, instead of ruining Sonic, they could just like me, for example, Skies of Arcadia, bring that back, or bring back Golden Axe, bring back Jet Set Radio, Alter Beast, or something like that.
Leave all that alone. Leave my childhood alone. If you can't do Sonic right, they ain't gonna do none of them games. I would love to see a new Space Harrier. That'd be awesome. In this world, everybody would be talking about Illuminati because that game is freaky as hell. It would be tight to have another Space Harrier too, but they would ruin it. So, hey, Duke, you want to say something before you get up out of here?
Oh yeah, I hope the game is actually decent, but knowing Sega and its history, it's not going to be that. It's going to be half decent. So, just keep your expectations very, very low. Just anything above a 6, you should be celebrating.
Damn.
All right, dude. Thank you for joining us, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate it, dude.
All right, bro.
Peace.
All right, so that was Sonic Frontiers. That dumpster fire. Yeah, it does.
You know what? But the name is appropriate. It definitely like the Frontier.
Literally.
They tried to warn us.
Trails.
They tried to warn us.
Yeah.
They say Sonic Cities.
Well, Frontiers is not just land. It assumes that there's something to do. And I think that's an assumption that's a little that's too big of an assumption when I look at that game. But my parting thoughts for today's episode is I think that I'm going to touch on the whole hip hop situation. I personally think that a lot of people, I think like Latinos and Jamaicans, partly Latinos, they want to take over hip hop. Because I feel like there's some cognitive dissonance going on. Because if we being real, Latino culture hates black people. They hate the black people in their country. They hate the black people here. They cannot. These Latin cultures cannot say they like black people. But when you listen to black music, you getting a black American lineup, which is real. We have our own lineups. You're getting that. You listening to our music. You talking like us. You walking like us. You got that cognitive dissonance because you're like, I'm emulating black people. I'm listening to their music. I'm talking like them and all that. But I don't really like black people. So reclaiming claiming that culture to them allows them to say, oh, no, we have a part of hip hop. So that when they emulate it, they can say, no, we're emulating our own culture. So I think this is a way for them to deal with the cognitive dissonance, and that's why they're trying to take over. It's a mental health thing that they're trying to do for their collective cognitive dissonance, and I like that Black Americans are giving people smoke for doing that. Black Ice is itching to say something.
I already know he's coming with the smoke.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
I'll say this. I believe that sometimes we just give these different. What you said was a phenomenal observation, because I do believe. I mean, not I believe. You're able to observe that within the Latino community, there is a lot of hate for the Black people within their countries as well as just overseas, which is going to include Black Americans, of course. So I do believe that there is some dissonance as far as that. But me personally, I'm getting to a point where anybody with a white supremacist mindset, to me, you're white. And one thing I'm not going to do is go back and forth with somebody with a white supremacist mindset. Of course, you put the truth out there and let the truth speak for itself. It doesn't need a month-long campaign trail to speak for itself. You know, let it be one and done, and then we're able to move on to other topics that are more pressing, like the fact that Black folk are being used within the hip hop industry that has been created. So I would say those are my part of thoughts on that.
For me, man, like I say, take the fight to the source. The only reason this conversation even, the fact that it's a discussion right now is because we don't own it. Mm-hmm. If you own it, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So me, so he's fighting these other people who try to claim it, which they can't, because like I said, it's well documented.
Right.
I already hit the fight to the ones who actually own our work and reclaim that. Because you actually work, because you actually own it, they kill the whole conversation because we own it.
And they give a platform to the Busta Rhymes.
Exactly. Yeah, but since people control any of it, that's how these conversations run rampant. So like to me, like fighting over Fat Joe or Busta Rhymes, to me it's a waste of time unless you go to the source to kill it off. Like kill a snake and cut off the head.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion on it.
Well, that's a great opinion. And Akis, you said you don't care if you're a white supremacist, you're white, and I don't want to harp on that point, but just like what people got to realize is Latino is an ethnicity, and then like when someone says I'm Puerto Rican, that's a nationality. I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this to everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Like Puerto Rican is a nationality. Latino is an ethnicity, and within these groups, there's a bunch of different races. And so a lot of times we'll say, oh, they're Puerto Rican, they're black. That is not true. There's white Puerto Ricans. White Puerto Ricans control everything. There's white Dominicans. There's white people in all these different nations that run it. And the black people venerate those white people in those countries. That's why a lot of these countries, you don't even see them identify with blackness. They try to run from blackness. And then they come over here and try to run game on us and be like, I'm black like you. But it's like, no, you're running from everything black. If you call yourself Latino, especially if you look like me, you are confused. Because if I said I was British, y'all niggas will look at me like I was crazy. If I said, oh no, I'm not black, I'm Anglo-Saxon, you would be like, you are confused. But y'all running around here calling yourself what Julius Caesar was. I'm sorry, Julius Caesar was Latin. Julius Caesar was Latin. Augustus Caesar was Latin. You are a subject of the Spanish Empire. And with that, I'm going to give you some jazz music. It was a pleasure. Have a great day.